Hi, I'm Kaisha Young.
And I'm Katie Davidson. Welcome to the Monday Night Roar.
Thanks for tuning in. We have your latest news, entertainment, and sports.
All that and more coming up on the Monday Night Roar. First, your Clemson news. Last Friday, astronaut Fred Gregory made a visit to Clemson University to present John Farmer, a senior from Chesterfield, South Carolina, with a $10,000 scholarship from the Astronaut Scholarship Foundation. He gave a speech and presented Farmer with the scholarship in the Student Senate chambers. Farmer earned this award due to his motivation, imagination, and exceptional performance in science, technology, engineering, and math. He has done considerable research on stars in the Milky Way at Cerro Tololo Inter-American Observatory in Chile, and has also interned at Fermilab, a particle physics and accelerator laboratory in Illinois. Congratulations, John.
The Ellen Hunt versus Clemson University women's soccer hazing court case has been upgraded from a Pickens County case to a federal case. The defendants released their 27-point defense in which they analyzed the claims brought against them. According to the document, Clemson employees had no knowledge of the alleged hazing that took place. The defense also denies the alleged verbal assault from Radwanski towards Hunt. The in-person court hearing has yet to be announced.
Though not commonly known for its architecture program, Clemson University's Lee Hall has been named among the best in new university architecture around the world. Filled with natural light thanks to its wide-open windows, reaching ceilings, and glass and steel structure, Lee 3 is home to programs such as architecture, art, construction science, and city and regional planning. Lee 3, a 56,000 square foot expansion, was built in 2012 as part of Clemson's sustainability project and includes a roof garden, geothermal wells, and natural ventilation technology. The building has won several awards and was one of only 3 other buildings in the United States to be named by Architectural Digest magazine.
On Tuesday night, students gathered on Bowman Field to commemorate Tucker Hips. The phone-lit vigil was a time for students, family, and friends to remember Hips on social media with the hashtags #SolidOrangeForTucker and #2Schools1State. Out of respect, Clemson rival USC wore orange the day after Hips' body was found beneath the Highway 93 bridge on Lake Hartwell. On behalf of the Monday Night Roar team, rest in peace, Tucker. You'll always be a part of the Clemson family.
In today's day and age, farming profitable crops isn't just for the farmers. It's also for mathematicians who are using computer simulations to research the planting strategies. A math professor at Clemson, Leah Jenkins, is part of the team responsible for helping farmers in California figure out how to best use their resources during this time of drought. The research they are developing can be applied to many different growing conditions, and Jenkins is looking for ways to apply it to farms in South Carolina. Researchers use computers to create a model where a virtual farmer will plant crops and under various rules and constraints. These models are being used to evaluate and suggest strategies to maximize profit and minimize water use. And now let's check in with Gabby for sports.
Hello guys, it's time for your latest sports, so let's jump right into it. Clemson rallied 50-35 on Saturday against the North Carolina Tar Heels in Death Valley. Clemson's Deshaun Watson held the starting quarterback position to help bring the Tigers to their victory. Deshaun completed 27 out of 36 passes for 435 yards and 6 touchdowns. The 6 touchdowns made by Watson not only broke a Clemson record, but also an ACC record for a freshman. Watson had a 74-yard touchdown pass to Jerome Hopper on Clemson's second play of the game. Clemson's offense looked impressive most of the game, but it was the defense that seemed to struggle in the second. The defense ended up giving 4 touchdowns and 478 total yards to the Tar Heels. Despite their struggle, Coach Venables told the media, quote, "It's humbling and it stinks and it's awful, but we all have ownership." Amon LaKip also had a huge comeback after going 1 for 3 against the Florida State Seminoles last week. LaKip was able to make all the extra points, including a 45-yarder, to help bring the Tigers to their victory. The Tigers will face North Carolina State at 3:30 this Saturday in Death Valley. Heartbreak is what you can call it for the Gamecock fans. Carolina lost in the last 1 minute and 36 seconds left in the game to the Missouri Tigers. The Missouri offense failed 3 times on the Gamecock second, but it was the last time that brought the Tigers to their victory. The Tigers offense decided to take it right up the middle to burst right in for the winning touchdown. The Gamecocks had one last chance to change things, but Carolina's quarterback Dylan Thompson threw 3 incomplete passes and Missouri took full advantage of the clock, giving the Tigers the victory. Well, the Ryder Cup premiered September 26th through the 28th. The U.S. had a great group of guys representing them, but they were not able to come through with the victory for the third time in a row. The Americans were able to keep the red on the board, but it didn't last long. McIlroy, Rose, and McDowell brought on the heat. McIlroy was 6 under par on the first 6 holes and beat out America's Ricky Fowler. McDowell was able to beat out Jordan Spieth after being 3 down after the 5th hole. Martin Kmar was able to gain the winning point by chipping in for an eagle on the 16th hole to beat out Bubba Watson. It was a tough loss for the U.S. team. Phil Mickelson stated, quote, "We had a great formula in 08, and I don't know why we strayed from it." The captain, Derek Jeter, took off his number 2 Yankee jersey for the last time ever. What a sad day it was in the MLB for many fans. Jeter, now 40 years old, was able to end his career off with a bang. Jeter was able to hit an RBI single to defeat the Boston Red Sox 9-5. This was Jeter's 3,465th hit of the year of his career, which is the 6th most in baseball history. Jeter ended his career with 5 Yankee championships. Jeter, you will truly be missed by so many. That's all I have for your sports. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, Gabby. Now on to national news. Richard Snyder, the president of Norwich University in Northville, Vermont, has blocked student access to the popular new app Yik Yak. The anonymous social media site has spawned several cases of cyberbullying at the school. Snyder claims he became aware of the cyberbullying for the first time last week and subsequently blocked access to Yik Yak through the school's computer system last Saturday.
Senator Jim Furlow of Pittsburgh came out in front of Pennsylvania lawmakers in Harrisburg last Tuesday. Furlow is the sponsor of a bill that will change the state's hate crime law to extend protection to the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community. He casually stated his sexual orientation while speaking on behalf of the bill. Though the senator did not hide his sexual orientation, he had never made a declaration to the public, and he says that his remarks were completely unplanned. The proposal of the bill comes after 3 people were charged after beating a gay couple in Philadelphia. If passed, prosecutors will be able to charge the accused with a hate crime because of the couple's sexual orientation.
5 students from the University of Washington have created bracelets that monitor levels of intoxication. The bracelets, which are able to connect groups of people to a network via the Vibe smartphone app, vibrate when the wearer begins drinking. Sensors in the bracelet periodically check alcohol and dehydration levels and vibrate to test whether or not the wearer is still alert and aware. The wearer must squeeze the bracelet to notify the program that he or she is still in control. If the wearer fails to squeeze the bracelet, his or her friends will receive a notification alerting them that their friend may be in trouble.
Police have obtained an interview from the main suspect in an Oklahoma beheading after he regained consciousness in the hospital this Saturday. Alton Alexander Nolan was recently terminated from Vaughn Food Processing Plant, where the incident occurred. Authorities state Nolan walked into the front office of the plant and attacked Colleen Hufford, the first person he encountered. He used the knife to sever her head and then proceeded to attack Tracy Johnson, who was recovering from acquiring numerous wounds. Nolan was shot inside the plant and then struggled once put in handcuffs. He temporarily escaped custody and was apprehended after a 12-hour manhunt.
A group of Brigham Young University students is protesting the Mormon school's ban on beards. About 50 BYU students took a stand against the ban Friday. A petition is currently in circulation to lift the ban. However, university spokeswoman Carrie Jenkins says students agreed to its grooming standards before their first day of class and claims that the beard ban was set in place by the students.
For the second time this month, detainees at the Woodland Hills Youth Development Center in Nashville have escaped the facility. Woodland Hills is for delinquent male youths between 13 and 19 who have committed at least 3 felonies. Friday night, 13 males escaped the facility, many of whom were among the 32 that escaped earlier in the month. Many of them were also involved in an incident last May in which a group of detainees broke through a window in an attempt to free others. The center struggles to contain the youth because the guards do not carry weapons or pepper spray, and the felons are not actually allowed to be locked inside their rooms. 2 staff members were injured in the escape. Let's hear from John Oliver for some entertainment news.
Jennifer Lopez is thankful after being rear-ended in a car accident on Saturday by a drunk driver. The singer was accompanied by her good friend Leah Remini and her 6-year-old twins. The accident occurred around 8 p.m. in Malibu after the custom-made SUV was hit by a small pickup truck. After exchanging information, the man sped off until a cop stopped the driver because of a suspected hit-and-run and DUI. The driver's name has not been released, however, he's been arrested. Lopez posted on Instagram about the accident saying, "Sitting at a light, riding high, right before some drunk fool rear-ended us in my new whip." After 18 years of marriage, Randy Jackson and his wife Erica are getting a divorce. Erica Jackson filed for divorce from the former American Idol judge. Jackson's wife cited irreconcilable differences and is seeking full physical custody of their son Jordan and joint legal custody. You know, I really hope Jennifer Lawrence has figured out her privacy settings on the iCloud, because the Oscar award-winning actress has been hacked again. This time the hacker leaked 55 new naked pictures of the star, and this is now the third major leaking of celebrity photographs in Hollywood. The FBI has confirmed, however, they are investigating the ongoing leaks. Taylor Swift and Metallica will headline the United States' first edition of the Rock in Rio Festival in Las Vegas. Rock in Rio will take place May 8th and 9th and 15th and 16th at the MGM Grand in Vegas. Other artists performing will be John Legend, Linkin Park, No Doubt, and the Deftones. The festival will be in the heart of the Vegas Strip and will include 5 stages. However, the festival is not here to stay, because the event will return to Rio in September 2015 with Katy Perry as the headliner. And congratulations to the Clintons, who officially became grandparents this past weekend. Their daughter Chelsea gave birth to a girl named Charlotte in Manhattan, and the former president says he's gushing with excitement over becoming a grandfather. Thanks, ladies. Back to you.
A visitor of the New Delhi Zoo was mauled to death by a white tiger last Tuesday. When the victim, aged 19 or 20, jumped into the tiger enclosure, the animal grabbed him by his neck, dragged him to a corner, and killed him. Eyewitnesses have accused zoo security of a slow response time, saying they focused more on shooing away crowds from the scene instead of focusing on saving the boy's life.
India's Mars orbiter mission entered Mars's orbit on Wednesday. The spacecraft cost roughly $74 million, a mere fraction of the $671 million spent by NASA's Maven. India Prime Minister Narendra Modi praises the country's efforts, saying, "We have gone beyond the boundaries of human enterprise and human imagination."
Dr. Gabby Logan, a doctor in rural Liberia, has been using lamivudine, an HIV drug, to treat patients with Ebola. So far, Logan has given the drug to 15 patients, and all but 2 of them have survived. Logan used the medicine for no other reason than desperation, he claims. The 13 patients who survived the disease were given medicine within 5 days of contracting the illness, while the 2 patients who died were given it later. Logan states that he believes the medicine can be very helpful when used to treat patients early. He got the idea to use the drug when he read that HIV and Ebola replicate inside the body in the same way.
Clemson has suspended social and new member activities for 24 fraternities. In the wake of Tucker Hipster's death, the university says it feels all Greek-related activities should be halted until further notice. This decision is the culmination of several recent events that have put the Interfraternity Council, or IFC, in the hot seat. Between August 20th and September 12th, there were reported 15 allegations of misconduct. Now let's check in with Freddie for movie news.
Hello and welcome back to Showtimes. We provide you with all the important movie news from the couch to the theater. We cover movies coming to Redbox, theaters, Netflix, and Amazon Prime. Up first are the movies coming out to Redbox. The latest Transformers: Age of Extinction, starring Marky Mark, is out tomorrow. Next up are Netflix and Amazon. First, in case you missed it last week, Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa is out on both Netflix and Amazon. On Netflix today is Transformers: Age of Extinction. On Amazon Prime by the end of this week, you can find the 2013 remake of Carrie, the first 3 Scream movies, and in case you missed it here on Tigervision last month, the 90s classic Space Jam. In theaters this week, you can find the start of the scary movie season. Annabelle, the story of a possessed doll and spin-off of The Conjuring, will be in theaters. Also this week is Gone Girl, which answers the age-old question, does Ben Affleck murder people along with our dreams for good superhero movies? And finally for theaters, if you haven't seen it already, you should go and see Maze Runner, a book-to-film adaptation which is getting average reviews, but I can personally say is a fun movie. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in next week for more weekly news. Back to you.
Thanks, Freddie. At least 31 people were presumed dead on Sunday in Japan after Mount Ontake erupted Saturday. The eruption unleashed a cloud of ash that engulfed a group of hikers. Police say the victims were found in a state of cardiac arrest, meaning they were found without a pulse and weren't breathing. There have been 4 confirmed deaths. Seismologists say that another big eruption may very well take place within the next few days and advise all residents to seek refuge.
In Taji, a town on the coast of Japan, September marks the beginning of their controversial dolphin hunting season. According to the government, the hunting of nearly 2,000 dolphins and porpoises from 7 different species is a traditional practice. Many hunters kill the dolphins for their meat, while some are sold live to aquariums across the globe. Hunters use metal poles to create loud noises that deafen and disorient the animals, forcing them to swim into a cove where they will be killed. Sea Shepherd is a conservationist group that broadcasts live from the village to campaign against the hunting.
A 93-year-old man has been charged with being an accessory to almost 300,000 deaths in Auschwitz. Prosecutors say the man, who remains nameless, removed luggage left by new arrivals at the concentration camp during World War II. His job was to count any money found in the victims' suitcases and then send it to Nazi headquarters in Berlin. Prosecutors say they believe the man must have known the arrivals would eventually be murdered. The accused was charged back in 1985, however the charges were dropped due to lack of evidence. There are already 16 applicants for Holocaust survivors and relatives of survivors to be secondary plaintiffs. And finally, let's check in with James for weather.
Thanks guys, let's take a look at your weather for the rest of the week. As you can see, moving on through the week, it is going to be really nice, highs in the mid-80s, but we're going to transition from Thursday to Friday, and it's going to cool down considerably, highs in the low 70s and lows in the lower 50s, so it's going to transition to fall weather. Only chance for rain this week is on Friday with about 60% chance of rain. Let's take a look what's happening outside your window right now. It's sprinkling a little bit, it's 69 degrees right now. Winds out of the east at 4 miles per hour, and it is very humid since it is raining. Taking a look at your radar, we do have a low pressure, high pressure front on the Georgia-Florida border, but all that rain is moving out tonight, and it's going to be really nice for the rest of the week. And I had an account at the Bank of the North Pole, but they froze all my assets. Back to you guys.
Thanks, James. That's all for tonight. Thanks for joining us, Clemson.
Be sure to like our Clemson TV Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. Have a great night, Clemson.